We don't, because I did not realize how late it was, and I literally just clicked the buttons. Hello. Yeah, okay. Then we'll have to make sure that those get edited out for now and just be conscious of that. That's really weird that that YouTube would do that. I'm kind of watching it right now with the audio on to see if it's talking. Yeah, so if anybody is watching there, they're gonna hear. Okay, yep, I do hear us, yep. Morning, Mom. She's watching. Yep. Still doing that. Getting the chat set up. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Spiritual Center for Conscious Living. You have Spencer, Renee, and Lori here today to bring you part 3 of our July series. Our July series being Choosing Divine Freedom, the balance between sovereignty and oneness. Our topic today is the sweet spot, balancing sovereignty and oneness. Before we get into that, just a few reminders. As you know, we are a 501c3 nonprofit. And we bring you, if it's your first time watching us, we bring you some of the leading wisdom, and sometimes it's from way in the past, sometimes it's from in the present, but we bring it to you with a high consciousness spin on it to help elevate your lifestyle and improve your quality of life. So we hope you enjoy that and follow along with us. If you've not watched all of these episodes, you know, they really do stack. Each month we have a good topic, and they're like a nesting doll. So really encourage you to watch all the episodes in a series. I also would encourage you, one of our things we want to do is build a community of high consciousness people, and join us by chatting in the, just say hello or whatever you'd like, in the comment section, and like us, share us, all of that. Join our Facebook page. You can see our website in the link to the description. So all of those things help us grow and help spread this message. Another way you can do so is by financial contributions if you are able. We welcome them via PayPal. If you're on YouTube, on Facebook, you can do PayPal or Facebook donate. So there's lots of different ways. Even if you don't have the means to contribute directly, we have an Amazon Smile page, which just gives money for your everyday shopping on Amazon. So click that link and get signed up. It costs you nothing but the click of the link. So go ahead, that is in the description, and go ahead and do that. So that's all the announcements I had. With that being said, I'll hand it off to Renee to get us started.
Thank you so much, and welcome everybody. I'm going to change my view so I can be a little more, you can see my kitty is wanting to participate today. So I know you're going to have to go down here. Baby. 1 second. Okay, so I'm back. So as Spencer said, we are wrapping up our July series, and what we're going to talk about today is the sweet spot. So let me just do a quick recap. And I agree with Spencer, if you haven't watched the whole series, it's really valuable. In fact, this series built on last month. So if you didn't watch last month, it was the energy of boundaries. I recommend you go back and do that as well. And you'll have some time, as with summer, sometimes we have a little more quiet time. We kind of have a little more chill time. So I hope you will enjoy spiritual work, spiritual practice, spiritual growth, as well as other activities you do for summer. Those of you who are in the summer, in the continent with summer. So we talked about, in our part 1, we talked about sovereignty through sacred self-love. And so we really talk about what does sovereignty mean. And it's not any sort of dominating, controlling, or forcing, or coercing, or anything like that. It's totally about you being in charge of yourself, you being very clear with your intention, very conscious in your choices of actions and words, and times for stillness instead of actions and words, and how sacred self-love is actually what fuels and gives you that ability to be a sovereign being, meaning you are aware that you're a spiritual being and able to bring that into manifested form in your wonderful human experiences, clearly and with conscious intention. And then last week we kind of went into the idea of oneness, the spiritual concept of oneness, how in the quantum field we understand that there's a connection, and also the oneness with the divine, that the divine is flowing to us, through us, as us. And when we are aware of that, then we have that divine presence and power available to us. And we talked about how that is not enmeshment, how it is not participating in toxic dynamics in relationships that actually undermines your sovereignty, and that is not oneness at all. It's very it actually prevents you from being the individuated expression of the divine, and it does not allow you to have the wonderful interactions that are healthy and joyful. So today we're going to kind of bring that together and add a little more layer to it, and what I call the sweet spot, where you have that balance, where you understand how to be this individuated person, spiritual being, human self as well, and you're letting your divine self guide you and lead you. So you're having this wonderful awareness of who you are and who you came here to be, while also enjoying the wonderful connections, sharing of love and joy and peace and prosperity and creativity, as only you can do, bringing that to the joy and benefit of others, those you love, and also just the world at large. And how to do that without getting lost in other people's energy, so that you're still sovereign, maintaining your own energy, aware of your own energy, making choices and taking responsibility for those choices. In other words, if you make a choice that you know is not wise for yourself, then you own it. You realize it. You love yourself anyway. At the same time, you support yourself to evolve beyond that being a repetitive choice. And once you have the awareness, it is not unconscious. Now you're making a conscious, unwise choice. There's a difference between a conscious choice and an unconscious choice. Unconscious is when you're not aware. People haven't yet maybe awakened to the fact that they are a spiritual being, that they do have access to divine presence and power. And in that case, often people make what we would say is unconscious choices. And often unconscious choices creates harm for themselves and it creates harm for others. And as we talked about last week, once a person becomes aware that they've made a choice and in taking responsibility for it, they see that it caused themselves some sort of harm or it caused another person harm or it's just generally harmful in the world, such as it's hurting the environment, it's hurting loved ones, it's negative toward a particular group of people. So once you have the awareness, and if you keep doing it, that's not an unconscious choice. That's a very clear choice to behave in a toxic way. And so we talked about that last week, and we gave the primary three examples of toxic behavior. There are many others, but there's three that I see a lot working with people over the years. So we talked about that. So if you didn't see that, please go back and listen. So now let's bring it all together. How do we stay in this beautiful state of sovereignty, awareness of who we are, our own energy? How do we do that? And at the same time, participate fully and freely in life, which might sound like we're going to be vulnerable. I would say we are, but not in a negative way. We're going to have to be authentic, which does sometimes feel vulnerable. And it's also very liberating because when you choose to be authentic and you're sovereign, then you're not so concerned about how other people react or respond. It doesn't mean you don't care about others. It doesn't mean you don't care if you're misunderstood. It doesn't mean you don't care. It means that you don't let that stop you from being true to yourself. And we went through some of the sacred self-love, how to, first of all, know thyself. You have to know your energy. And then to thine own self be true. Actually be true to who you are, which benefits you and when aligned with divine presence and power, does not cause harm to others. It actually empowers and uplifts the consciousness of the collective, the planet, or any group you're with, that collective, any collective. And then finally, we talked about the third one, which is to be still and know. So once you know yourself, then you can be true to yourself. And then you can live in a state of this knowing and connection to the divine and be in that flow with pure source energy. So let's take a moment, first of all, and get into a space where you are aware of your energy. And if that's a term that's a little new to you, what I mean by that is, go back to Einstein, everything is energy. Everything is energy in motion, you might say. It is energy. It is flowing purely, unrestricted, or it is constricted, but is still there. There's still energy. When we open our field, just tell yourself right now, just direct you have your mind directing your body, emotion, and mental energy field to open to pure source. We don't open to one another, even though the divine is in every living being. We open to pure source. We feel it within and we feel it without. It's everywhere. There is one power and presence, and that is the divine, that is God force, life force. You might think of it as spirit, divine creator, the power that creates worlds, the power underlying all that is. Open to that pure energy. It's an energy that is flowing. It is divine love expressing through its creation. And you, each of us, we are one of its creation. And so we have that divine presence and power with us. And we can choose to align with it for wisdom, for guidance, for intelligence, even beyond our own, however intelligent you are. There's massive more. for abundance. That's if you look in the world through the eyes of source, you can see abundance is everywhere. You can see so many leaves on trees, you can't even count them. So many blades of grass, you can't count them. So many little pieces of sand, you could never count them. So many shells on a beach, you can't count them. So many drops of water in an ocean or a lake or a stream that you couldn't begin to count them. There's abundance in the universe. And as a human self, we can allow that energy to come to us, open to it, unrestricted, and then focus and direct it, flow it with intention and conscious choice moment by moment, which then allows it to be made manifest into forms that bring us comfort and joy and express beauty in creative ways unique to each individual. And that enriches the life of all the planet, all living beings, all people, all creatures, nature, the beautiful planet Earth herself. So do you feel that? As I said that, I hope that you felt into, opened, and you can now feel your energy, because it's so frequent in the human interactions to get lost in other people's energy. That's that enmeshment we talked about last week, where you kind of become this blurry blob. You just sort of get pulled into other people's energy. Sometimes it's just a lack of knowing how to hold your own energy field, how to hold a sacred space of your energy with clear intention. That calm in the middle of a storm. And sometimes we get pulled into other people's energy because it is their intention. That's the toxic dynamics we talked about. Somebody who's like pulling energy to try to manipulate, maneuver, rather than cultivating their own sense of well-being and validation and approval. Or a person who's pushing energy. That's the person who's dominating and controlling. So like people become pieces on a chessboard as opposed to living, breathing, sentient, sacred beings. And so when there are a lot of people like that in the world. They're unawakened. Some of them are very consciously doing it. Some of them, they're doing it because it's all they know. It's how they were raised, or something they've learned as a coping mechanism from a trauma, perhaps. Whatever the reason, we're not here to judge them, but we are here to be aware that if you don't learn to hold your own energy, especially in that situation, you are no longer in control of your life. You are they're a puppet master and you're on a string being manipulated or coerced or forced. And for anybody like that, let's hold some space for you right now. And if you know someone, please do that. Hold space for that person right now. When I say hold sacred space, what I mean is hold the truth for them that they may not know yet, that they are a divine expression. They are the divine expressing as them, through them, with them. Even if they don't know it, it is still the truth of who they are. Hold that space for them so that it will help them to feel that when they're around you. And it might be appropriate at some point to have a conversation about it. You will be guided. Let yourself be guided when to speak and when not, and what to say when you speak. It isn't necessary that you always speak. Sometimes the most helpful thing to do is to know that they are a sovereign being and they have the potential to open to that and learn to be that. So let's talk about the sweet spot. Before I do, I want to read, as I've been doing this month, the weekly inspiration that I have in the program. So those of you who like to follow along with the program, it's posted on the homepage of our website, which I know Spencer has in the description, SCfCL.org. We just use our initials. You can also put in the whole name of our center, Spiritual Center for Conscious Living.org. And this month I've been using Daily Word, which is a Unity publication. I chose this one, and I invite you to open to this idea as your intention at the level of your soul, your divine self, your intention to experience in this life. That the wiser, broader part of you that is so aware of divine presence and power and always one with it, that is within you and around you and leading you to the degree you will receive it, guiding you, calling you forward in life. Your divine self knows this. Your divine self is this, and chose this for your human self, your beautiful human self, to experience in this lifetime. And the word is fun. The word is fun. How often do you have fun? I hope you have fun a lot. Sometimes there's so much going on in the world that's frightening, sad, alarming, that we stop having fun. That doesn't actually help us cope with it. We still need to have fun, because fun gets us to a state of joy, a frequency of joy, which has been shown through work such as the map of consciousness, other work too, Abraham teachings, that is such a high frequency. It is the frequency of miracles and healing. So it is the frequency that actually helps us bring healing and miracles and enhanced well-being, not just for ourselves, but for any collective we are a part of, which includes the entire planet. So it is very important to have fun every day, even in times of stress, find some moments of joy, even if it's memories, remembering joy, remembering times. So let me read what they say in this article. It starts with an affirmation. I embrace a spirit of playfulness and make time for fun. Playfulness. Like my kitty cat a few moments ago wanted to come up and wanted to play with the paper and the pen and the things on the desk here. Playfulness, curiosity and playfulness. Take a breath and open to that idea. If you're doing it already, congratulations. I celebrate with you. I encourage you to allow yourself even more. Even more. Okay, here's the article. It's very short. Fun is an essential part of a full, well-rounded life, just as crucial as work and accomplishment, and as important as rest and relaxation. Having fun is necessary to ensure my ongoing growth and well-being. Take a breath and let that in. Open to it. I invite you to receive that. So much more than diversion or a way to pass the time, fun lightens my heart and brightens my view of the world. I am better able to bear up under inevitable struggles and setbacks in life when I have a reservoir of cheerful and happy memories from which to draw, and reasons for laughter and levity to look forward to. I love to have fun and dive into playful adventure and exploration. I prioritize recreation and the activities that make me smile, laugh, and forget my cares for a while. I honor God and my divine nature when I make time for fun. I want to say that again. I honor God and my divine nature when I make time for fun. Have you ever thought about that? That you, by enjoying life and looking for joy in life and allowing joy in life and deliberately choosing to experience joy on a daily basis, you are honoring divine creator. How about that? And you're honoring your divine self. And they always use a Bible verse, and I really like this one. You might be familiar. It's from Ecclesiastes, and it says, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to dance. So we're going to dance. How about that? We're going to dance. So I want to help you find your own sweet spot. We're going to do that with our meditation which is also, I always also include an energy activation where I hold sacred space so that as you listen, you can feel the frequency, and it helps you kind of step into it and receive it, which actually then helps to evolve your consciousness as you go through the process. And that consciousness being raised can be something having evolved into a higher frequency, then it makes it easier for you to come back to it. And that's why we do this, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. And we're going to have an experience of dancing. It's going to be a virtual experience, not that you can't move around if you're in a place where you feel like doing that. So let's begin by taking a deep breath. I know Spencer has some music for us today while we do this. So take a deep breath. And exhale with sound. Oh. That sends the energy all through your body, down through the vagus nerve, which also supports all your vital organs and helps ground you, meaning you are fully in the human realm while we are also having this wonderful spiritual experience. And now another deep breath that we're going to hold. 3 counts breathing in. Hold for 3 counts. Exhale and pause for 3 counts. Feel that stillness. Now a very slow, thorough, gentle breath. Pull up through your feet, up to your crown. Exhale all around you like a beautiful fountain of energy, of light, of divine love. And just take a moment to feel divine presence and power with you, flowing to you, through you, expressing as you, in only the ways you can, uniquely. So we're going to talk about learning how to enjoy dancing solo, dancing with a partner, or dancing with the collective, whatever group that might be in your life. So if you saw the image I put on Facebook this week, it was an exquisite photo of a dancer capturing her doing a leap and sort of a twirl, I guess. Leaping in the air, just exquisite freedom. The sweet spot of the freedom that happens when you know how to be a sovereign being, then you are free to be authentically and purely you as you go out in the world around others, collaborating with others or working solo on something that you personally enjoy. And it's not just working, it's playing and collaborating, working and collaborating, or just being. So feel your energy now and let yourself dance with life force energy. Let yourself picture yourself dancing. It can be a little sway, it can be a full out leaping and twirling. It can be anything you like, because that's the beauty of dance. There's just so many, countless ways you could dance. Countless ways you could dance. Let yourself dance. Let your energy just be free and flowing and dancing for one intention only: the joy of being alive, the joy of feeling your energy moving and flowing with pure source, as pure source, through you and into the world, expressing you. Take a breath. Doesn't that feel good? That's who you are. That's who you came here to be. Yes. And now I want you to dance with a partner. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't have to be a romantic partner. It can be if you want it to be. It can be just dancing with a friend. It can be dancing with a child. It can be dancing with a pet. Puppies and kitties, horses, birds, whomever. Dancing, just dancing. It can be dancing with the ocean waves, walking on a beach, dancing with a partner, you and that partner, Sometimes you're in perfect unison, and sometimes you're taking each of you a little break for some solo moments in the collaborative dance together. That flow of energy, it's flowing back and forth, back and forth. It's joy flowing from you out, and joy flowing from whoever your partner is back to you again, back and forth. And it's exuding beyond just the two of you, whoever and whatever the two might be. You could be dancing with the wind coming from through you and around you, dancing with life force energy that is taking the form on earth of whomever you like it to be. It's your playtime, whoever you choose. Take a breath. Feel the openness of that. And now I would like you to feel into a different dance. This is a dance with a big group of people. It might be 12 people. It might be 100 people. It might be thousands all over the world right now at the same time. Even if they don't know it, you're dancing with life force energy, meaning you're sharing in the flow of love and joy and peace and prosperity and creativity and wonder and exploration. The majesty of life, the beauty of life. Everyone being in a safe space to authentically express their pure self, their pure human self, their pure divine self, pure source energy, the divine creator expressing through them, as them, with them, for the betterment of all, for the joy of all, for the upliftment of all, for the expansion of life, for the evolution of consciousness, and for the elevation of everyone's lifestyle, their life experience, their quality of life, their lifestyle, their environment, their body, their beingness. Just allow it to be. It can be like seeing leaves blowing through the wind. It can be like seeing a huge flock of birds. They don't run into each other. They just dance, doing their own thing, but at the same time, they're also in a beautiful rhythm together. Yes, feel that. It's like watching ocean waves rise and fall, flowing toward the sand and collapsing, rising up, falling, moving forward, over and over. It can be the same with people, creatures, any kind of creature. Think about the fish. We talked about that last week, and there's an image on the website right now for this month's series. It's a school of fish, beautiful little fish. They're red, white, and blue, and they're all moving, but they're not running into each other. They're individuated as well as a collective energy. They're not lost in each other's energy. They have their own energy field, and they have the joy of that, and they share the joy of that, expressing it through a collective without losing their own energy, their own awareness of their individuated expression, their unique joy. Do you feel it? Take a breath, open to it. Stay with it. Yes. Now come back to the partner you chose, or choose a new one. Another form of someone to dance with. Creature, person, life, earth. Dance with it. Dance with that life force. You are being you, and that partner is being them. Sometimes you're in unison, and sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're soloing, while still together, sharing this joy, this movement of life force energy, flowing to you, through you, as you, each of you. Yes, take another breath. Now come back to you, dancing solo. You might be just moving around in a circle very slowly. You might be just a little bit of a movement back and forth. You might be leaping in the air. Whatever you want to do, however you want to do it, it's all a play, playfulness in your mind, which you can always, of course, do with your whole body. Bring your divine self into it. Pure you, authentically, vulnerably, with serenity and security. The divine self guiding you, your human self enjoying and receiving all the benefit of this energy flow. Pure source, the aliveness, the health, the vitality, the abundance, the joy, the peace, the exquisite surrender to the movement of the energy, letting it move you, being one with it, receiving it without holding on to it, just letting it come to you and flow through you like an ocean wave washing over you while you're safe, secure on the beach, as deep in the water as you choose to be or as shallow as you choose to be. The wind blowing safely, feeling it, allowing it, receiving it. Now take another deep breath and exhale with sound. Ooh. And as you're ready, we're going to come back into present awareness here with us for the conscious conversation session. Just take another breath, very slow. Now exhale very softly. As you're ready, bring your focus back with us, hearing my voice. Soon it will be all of our voices. I'm going to give everyone a moment while you do that. Yes. And I'm going to remind everybody that we want you to participate with us, please. However you're comfortable commenting, even if the comment is simply a hello. We love you bringing your energy into this experience. So we have that wonderful exchange.
And with that
Yeah.
being said, Renee, we have actually quite a few people who've commented and said hello. So
Oh, wonderful.
yeah,
Hi.
just want to say hi to Lucy and BJ and Claudia, all commented, and
Lovely.
good to see you.
Oh, that's great.
I know.
Three divine, beautiful women. Yay. Love that you're all here. Luce, BJ, and Claudia. We're so glad you're here. Wonderful. So if you'd like, you may pose a question or comment and participate with us. Spencer will monitor that. So here we go. Are we ready? Spencer and Lori, are you grounded? Need more time? Are you ready? Okay.
Ready.
Here's the question. We kind of created this sort of tapestry, and the experience of staying individuated within the tapestry of life instead of becoming like lost in a blurry blob of energy with everyone, right? We want everyone to enjoy their own expression while also having that lovely flow. How do you all feel about that? Do you feel you do that well? Do you feel you're learning more about it? What would you like to say about it? And how has this series helped you maybe learn better to do that? Any of those questions you want to ask, or something else that you might want to answer? Same for those participating. We'd love to hear from you too.
Yeah, I would say that I'm learning to do that and I'm like just at the tip of learning to be aware of when I'm getting lost in that sort of blob or other people's energy. So I'm not anywhere near, perfect at it. Not to say that I have to be or that I'm feeling guilty about it, but I have been more and more aware that like if I go into work and other people aren't happy with the working conditions and are being negative about it and how much that affects me and how much I let it affect me, and then I go to their level of that and how I react. So Yeah, it's definitely been a good learning experience, and then learning to somehow remove myself from that situation, or not interact with those people to
Yeah.
to just physically not be a part of it.
Yes, and we'll circle back to ideas about that, okay, after
Hmm.
Lori shares whatever she would like to say. That's good to bring up. That's a helpful thing for us to reiterate. So thank you.
Hmm.
Yes. It's funny when you said that too, Spencer, because I was actually, and before you said it, I must have picked up on it because I was envisioning how the blurry blob happens often when we walk into a store full of people,
Mhm.
it could be a workspace, like a building, office building, but I was thinking literally of a store, and that I know you work at a store. So it was interesting because I was like, yeah, that's when I think we don't even know that if we're not really, if we're not aware of our own energy, then we get lost in the blob, the collective consciousness of all the people in the store, the people that work there, the people that shop there, all of that, and we can feel we feel it, but we don't know what happened. We walked in a good
Yeah.
mood, and then now we're not, or maybe it's the other way around. We walked in not so good, and then we walk into a really uplifted field, and then we feel it. Yeah. What
Mhm.
would you like to say, Lori?
Well, it was interesting when you were talking, Spence. I was like, it is so much more difficult when you're live and in person. One of the things that I've had a bittersweet dance with over the past couple of years is being totally at home and working from home. I love it. I've been working from home when I'm not traveling for so long that it's kind of second nature to me. And I didn't realize how much not being around people would affect my energy, and also being around groups of people. And I thought, wow, I'm about to try to go back to work. And I don't know, a lot of people don't know that I have been out on short-term disability for over a month dealing with some migraines. And so the doctor and I said, I think I'm ready. I'm stronger. I can make it through the day without napping. I haven't had a migraine in a week, and I'm ready. I'm ready to see if I can add more into my world. And one of the things that I was thinking is, wow, I'm very blessed to where when I re-enter work, I'm not going to be bombarded by all these people going, oh, hey, welcome back. And I'm like, whoo. Whereas when you walk in, it's like, whoo, here's everything we're turning over to you. Here's what's going on with the day. If it's in the middle of a busy day, oh my God, here you go. Here's all the people that are in the store. And there's just all this energy. And to be able to go, one sec, one sec. Let me just reframe here, is so much easier when it's just my physical energy. And even sometimes when I'm in conference calls, I can feel that, over, as everyone is here today, feeling it through watching and interacting with us. But it's a little more intense when that energy is in person. And it's not mute button or, oh, hey, call drop, sorry.
I appreciate both of you saying that, and that's
Yeah.
important too, because it really, I would say that's true for everyone. However evolved you may be able to
Mm-hmm.
hold your consciousness, whatever high frequency might be your natural normal frequency. But that it's also scientifically proven that the higher you are able to hold your frequency, the less others are able to pull on it. So that's one of the reasons we practice with the meditation, always getting grounded and learning how to open to source, not other people. So that you learn how to hold your sacred space. That's how you have sovereignty. And then as you learn and get more aware and make conscious choices, you keep evolving your consciousness, and that helps in, as both of you described, being in a group of people, even one-on-one with somebody who's going through something very difficult. It could be someone that, and I don't mean it as a negative about that person. It might be negative, or it could be you're
Yeah.
going through something difficult that someone you love.
Mhm.
And that can really pull you down if you don't have the capacity to be sovereign, in meaning that you are able to have mastery of your energy field. And so that's why we practice it so much. That's it. It's the other thing that's scientifically proven is when you are capable of holding your frequency, your consciousness is at a highly evolved level, then without any effort on your part, you pull people up, and I hear that a lot from people. They will tell me how good it feels to be in my energy field, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, yay, that's wonderful, and it doesn't take anything from me. I'm just doing my thing, enjoying life in the way that I'm here to do, and how lovely that it blesses people. What the cool is, it's also scientifically proven, something called the butterfly effect. It impacts the entire globe. Our frequency impacts, positive or negatively, the entire globe. Pretty cool. So, or pretty scary, depending on what you're doing. That's what we want to be. That's why we teach conscious living. Be more conscious, no judgment and no condemnation. Don't beat yourself up about it. Love yourself, because that helps. And so we're excited about that. Does anybody want to ask a question? Any comments we need to address, Spencer? Or want to?
I do not have anything in the comments.
Those of you listening, if you want to, do this with yourself, whether you want to answer. You don't have to answer. There's no pressure. But ask yourself the same question. Let's say, to give it a way to analyze it, assess it, on a scale of 1 to 10. Would you say you normally are at a 5 or a 6 or a 7 or an 8 in terms of you're in a high vibration and you're able to hold that? It's not, you don't hold it like some people teach, you put this wall around you. I do not teach that. That's not accurate. That's actually blocking the flow of source energy. You don't want to hold, and that takes this enormous, it's like exhausting when you do that. You don't need to do that. You hold your energy for you, about you. And that's the bubble. That's the energy boundary. We talked about that last month. The energy of boundary it's an energy first, and then it flows naturally in things you do and say, or don't even need to do and say. So if you want to address that on a scale of 1 to 10, are you normally 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe you're way up high at 9, 10, that you're able to be in your own space, no matter where you are, and other people's energy does not pull you down or overwhelm you, being pushed on you. How are you with that? Anybody want to answer? And Lori and Spencer, you can if you want to. I know you sort of talked about it. I'm checking in case there's something I need to know since I've been. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I was just reminded, I was sent something this week. Someone from work had reached out to me saying, "Hey, we miss your sparkle around here," and then sent me a little gift that I just sent to everybody. And it's, hey, if people are saying, "Hey, you sparkle too brightly," kindly suggest a pair of sunglasses for them. Don't let anyone diminish your sparkle. And I've been doing energy work for many, many, many years. It still can be difficult for me at times. And I'd like to encourage others who think, "Oh man, it's just too hard. I'm just not getting this. I really thought I had it mastered, and then this happened." God doesn't give us more than we can handle. Sometimes it's like, really? I don't think I'm that strong. And God says, "Hey, yeah, you are." You are. Just remember who you are. You're a divine child of God. Take a moment, be still and know. And it's very difficult for me, especially right now, to be still and know. And it is honoring my boundaries. And, even I struggle. And I'm sure, Renee, you struggle too, and Spencer. And I want everyone to understand that it doesn't have to be a struggle. as Renee kindly reminds me every day, it is a joy. Let's get back to the reframing that to I am joyfully, easefully maintaining and truly maintaining my sparkle and my energy so that I can be that positive influence for those around me. So
I love that. I want to read what this said, and then I want to make a comment about it too. So she sent this little image. It's a sparkly butterfly, and it says, "There is no such thing as too much sparkle. If anyone thinks you're shining too brightly, kindly suggest they get some damn sunglasses. Sparkle on." So, and it's called "Life's a Dance." Life's a dance. Life is a dance. So that's the thing I wanted today to bring as the conclusion, bringing all this together. Is, and I'm glad you brought up the idea of the suffering and the struggling and the sacrificing and all that. That isn't something, I want to explain what the idea of God, quote, God bringing it to you. It's not that God brings it to you in the sense of something you have to deal with, like a lesson you have to learn. It is that it is energetically coming to you as a dance for you to do, because either you're ready to rise above it, and it's helping you see, it's a mirror to help you see what your energy frequency is, how it's different from what you might think it is. So you think it's joy and ease and grace, but you're manifesting struggle and sacrifice and stress and strain. So that's the mirror. And that's why, as Lori, the way Lori expressed it, God brings it to you. That's why the energy of life comes in that way, as this loving, gentle, really and truly gentle reminder. It's an awareness. I always say it's a gift. It's like this beautiful gift landed in the palm of your hands, ready to be unwrapped, and the sparkly butterfly comes out when you unwrap it. And what you have to unwrap is, how did I create? I wanted the sparkly butterfly. Why did I create it with some kind of stress or sacrifice or suffering, And a lot of it is we have belief systems that we don't know we have until we get that beautiful gift of awareness. And so, as Lori was saying, God never brings you more than you can handle. Well, the divine does not bring you more than you can handle, because you created it and it's time for you to release it. And that's why it's in your energy field. And so, and so it's a cool thing to say, okay, as Lori said, something can happen. And as you evolve, you will always have a new level to go to. I do too. And so it's like a new experience, like, wow, okay. I recently had a sprained ankle. I don't normally injure myself. It's like really unusual for me. So it gave me a chance to be still as I was letting myself recuperate, be still and know, in the world did I do? How did I let that happen? That's so not normal for me. But I was evolving into a really cool new space. And so it meant I had what's called duality. You have a belief system of, yes, I want this, and a little belief system of, but for some reason I have to make it hard instead of easeful and graceful, right? And so graceful is not hobbling around with a hurt ankle. And so it was just like, okay, love myself enough to take care of myself, at the same time learn the wisdom of the experience. Yeah. So anything you all want to add to that, or any other ideas that spawned that you want to share? No.
I don't know. I don't have anything.
Okay, so let's remember, life is an energy dance. It's an energy dance. We are dancing. We are divine energy expressing as our beautiful human selves, and we're dancing, so let's dance more, okay? Physically too, and energetically. Let's dance more. Let's dance more. It doesn't mean you dishonor somebody who's suffering or struggling at all. Your joy does not take away from somebody else's benefit. They're getting, and your joy actually, I know you may not want to just be all, exuberant while you're helping somebody who's hurting or sad. That's being respectful, but at the same time, as Lori said, it doesn't mean you hold the sparkle in. It means you just hold your own space and let them hold theirs. And I promise you, by not reducing your frequency to the sadness they're feeling or the hurt they might be physically hurting, as like helping, myself going through this and helping Lori recently, I didn't diminish my well-being to be there for her, not one teeny tiny bit, because that wouldn't help her. It wouldn't help her and it would hurt me, right? And Spencer, during times when you've had things happening, I don't do that. We still find ways to laugh, right? We all do. And that's good because it's very healing. It is the energy of miracles and healing. So I invite everybody this week to dance with life force energy. Dance with it however you want to, whether it means actual dancing or nature, being in the flow with nature, be in that energy flow of life. It's a precious gift and we're meant to enjoy it. And it will help us with the things that are difficult in the human realm. And it will hold a higher frequency that helps the entire planet. I promise it will. Okay, so next week we are off. This is the end of our July series. So we have one more Sunday in July. I will have a post, as I always do, that recaps the month and gives you some things to think about and lets you, potentially go back and re-listen or go through an energy meditation. I suggest on these Sundays off, if let's say you've listened to all of them already, go back through the 3 in the series or however many there are. Usually there's 3. This time there's 3. And go to the kind of the center, the 30-minute mark, exact, not exact, but around that. And take yourself through each meditation and energy activation sequentially. Do that. I promise you it will evolve you. I promise you it will. I design it for that. I do know it will if you will do it. Okay, great. And then we are going to be in August. We're going to have a new schedule just for 1 month. We're calling it our summertime schedule. We're going to take a little more time off in August. All of us had other things, some things we needed to do on weekends. So we will be back on August 7th. Let me look at the date. Yes, August 7th. And we're going to do, I will just do some recaps about boundaries and relationships. I invite anybody that's listening to send a comment or a private email if you want, or text or call, and let me know if there's anything you want me to go a little deeper on last month on the energy of boundaries, or this month on sovereignty and sacred self-love. Let me know any of that. We're going to touch on it, and we're going to just all reflect and share, because it's really brought up a lot of comments and conversation offline, you might say. And so we're going to go a little deeper on some of that. And then we will be back for only one other Sunday in August, and that is the 28th. We're going to cover the actual basic steps to understand what is conscious living. We're going to go through that, and I know it's going to be very helpful because I get people asking me those kinds of questions a lot. So we're going to get that very well established, and that'll be something we use we'll start putting a few of these things on our website for people to find very easily. You can always go through. We have a huge library on our Facebook video tab, and now we are on YouTube as well. So we're building a library there. I will have a post every Sunday, whether we're live or not. I will give a piece of wisdom and a reflection, something for you to reflect on, a little bit of an exercise you can do to expand. So don't worry, we won't leave you without something every Sunday. I promise. We do that. We love to do that. Thank you for being with us. I want to thank you. Lori, do you want to join me on the blessing, or you want me to just go ahead and do the blessing?
I would actually love to start off the blessing by saying thank you for everyone who takes a little bit of time to donate. Just those little bits add up. We've started getting Facebook donations in. We've started getting the Amazon donations in. We started getting business matching in from corporations, from those of you who donate and they do matching, which has been awesome. And please don't think that, I don't have much to give. Sometimes that $5 that comes in is what we need to pay for the things that keep us online. And one of those things is Renee's salary. This is a salary position. We couldn't do what we do if we didn't have the energy flow. Renee would have to find a different job, basically. So we really, really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for those who participate with shares and dragging significant others in, let me tell you, my significant other, and he may get mad at me for saying this, is a self-proclaimed atheist. He says, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in God. He has, for divine intervention, I like to say, forgotten and has come in to different viewings at a time when it was like, wow, that was so significant. So even more and more and more, he has been listening. That's how that energy flow is working in our house. I've tried my best to stop using headphones and keep it to myself and sharing throughout the house. And I was speaking to someone else the other day who said, yeah, I lost my headset. So I was doing it online and I had other family members sitting, listening. That is incredible. Just that little bit of energy share it with someone else. You don't know. Please don't prejudge others. Because I was like, okay, that's your thing, baby. This is my thing. But, I was keeping this all to myself. And it was very selfish. And those days that he has come in, like today, we've gotten a little puppy. So he came in with the puppy and he sat and he listened. And it was just amazing. So I bless you. I thank you for all of the energy shares that everybody does, because we're flowing it back to you as best as we can. And we can only get better when your energy flow to us is better, with the comments, with the interactions, and financially. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Renee, what would you like to add?
I just want to add, I want to bless and exponentially return. So everything, we thank you for your, as Lori said, your likes, your loves, your care, little care buttons, the comments. Thank you everyone for commenting. Thank you for sharing. I know some of you share regularly. Thank you. Thank you for your presence. Your presence live is wonderful. Your presence replay is wonderful too. We thank you. We love the energy of you being with us live. That's always really fun. We thank you for that. And for those of you who do donate, we do appreciate it. We thank you, because we do need this. This is a full-time operation, even though you only see us once a week live. And we also have plans to grow. And as the world is able to resume healthy interaction again live, we have plans for that. Some definitely an annual event, and then as we grow, we want to do more quarterly events, so where people can come together, and we'll always have them available online as well. They'll be more blended, you might say, a blended event or a hybrid event, however, whatever word term you like. So we appreciate it. So I just want to put my palms together as a blessing. We have the chakras in the palms are wonderful. That's really why we were taught to pray with our palms, and also bless your food with a prayer over it. So let's put our palms together, and we're blessing all the energy received. We bless the energy that we've sent out. We bless our center. We bless each of you. We bless all life, all creatures, all people, all of nature, the earth itself, all sentient beings, all living beings. We hold sacred space of divine presence and power, knowing that is the truth of our being, and we bless the dance of joy, the dance of life force energy, as a joyful, easeful, graceful expression. Thank you for being with us. We'll have a post for you next week, and we'll be back live with you on August 7th. Every Sunday, we will have something for you while we take a little vacation time for the month of August. Much love. Thank you so much.